Okay, welcome everyone. Today is April 4th, il 4 di aprile 2023, 2023. Okay, so that's your Italian lesson from me. I'll let Eleonora take over with any other Italian she wants to teach us.
4 aprile 2023.
Grazie. Okay, so I see Mary Di Crescenzo.
Hi.
Mary. Now, I
Can you
am
see
going to
me?
get confused. Ciao, Silvanna. I'm going to get confused. I'm going to wait a few minutes before we do intros because I think we're waiting for more people, aren't we, Teresa?
I believe my cousins are going to join, John and Jean. They said they were.
Okay.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao
Scusate,
Silvana.
Silvanna. So I will take the liberty of sharing my screen for just a second here, because I have a cute little picture I want to show you from my cousin Mike's visit. And thanks to Eleonora, who put a beautiful caption on the image. Let's see if we can bring this up.
The last pen, Bob.
There it is. Okay, so these are my cousins, and you can see the caption here, but this is my cousin Mike and his wife Ardith, and Mike and I grew up in Sacramento, and he married Ardith in Sacramento, but they lived at South Lake Tahoe for many years, and they currently live just over the Sierra Nevada range in a place called Minden, Nevada, which is not too far from Lake Tahoe. And so Mike and I are third cousins with Salvo Serravalle, and Anna Maria Bruno, and Mara Nella Casarino. We're third cousins. So, and then Anna Maria's got her husband, Roberto, here, Piccioni, and her son, Alfio Piccioni. And then, of course, Ariana Ingaliso is the wife of Salvo Casarino. So we had a little bit of a family reunion just outside of the church in Carlentini. Mike wanted to go to church, and
Salvo Serravalle, Nick.
Sì, sto
yeah,
dicendo
Salvo,
Sì, ha detto
che è
Salvo
stata una
Castellino.
piccola riunione di famiglia e lì siete subito fuori dalla chiesa, sono.
Sì. E c'ero pure io.
Perché Mike voleva andare in... Sì, infatti immaginavo che ci fosse anche tu. Mike voleva andare in chiesa.
Non sono nella foto. Questa è la foto solo della famiglia, ovviamente.
Sì.
so I got quite a few more pictures. I think these are from, yeah, here we go. So I think I showed these last week, but this
Mhm.
was the party that Silvanna hosted at her house.
I'm like
Oops.
the Pursley, I'm everywhere. Like my grandma, sì come Purcesino. You're like the Pursley, that's in dialect. Purcesino, while in...
Donna's granddaughter, is that right? Donna Shipley's granddaughter?
Sì, with the beautiful Juicy that I met yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, I don't remember, in Syracuse.
So I think I
That's
need
a
to go
Sue
to
picture, Sue letter.
Silvanna's message from let's see, Dove.
If you don't have more pictures, I can send you more. Let me see.
I got a ton here. Okay, so since we're going to talk about Easter, I thought we should go ahead and look at Silvanna's pictures of Easter here. And this is the after, so let's get to the before here.
Cassatelle di ricotta.
Those are the ones of Carlentini, the recipe of Carlentini.
Okay, so here's the beginning. Silvanna, you want to tell us about the process here?
And I will translate. Vai, Silvana.
Allora, praticamente queste sono farina, zucchero, uova e vino rosso. Questa è
So
la
here
ricetta.
there is flour, sugar,
Eleonora,
egg.
se vuoi vado a prendere la ricetta con tutti i grammi, perché ce l'ho di là. Che dici?
No, fai una foto, gliela mandi a Nick, così gliela condividiamo e la possiamo tradurre in
Però
americano.
un attimino, mi dovete
insieme.
aspettare un attimo che vado a prendere
Sì,
il ricettario, ok?
sì. She's going to take the recipe. She wants to share the recipe with you, and this could be a pilot program. You will help me to convert grams into American way. I don't know, could be cups or odds or whatever. So this could be a pilot recipe, but then you have to do it. So as you can see, there is the red wine. Every house in Carlentini has its own secret ingredient to make the cassatelle di ricotta. For example, my aunt Nella, she likes to put the beer inside because the dough will be crispy and crunchier in this way if you add alcohol from the really beginning. Others, they don't like thin and crunchy. They prefer like a cookie that's has to remember like a biscuit. So everybody, according to his own taste, can make the dough in a different way. And then the difficulty when you make the right consistency with the dough is to transform the little round circle in little nests, and they have to stand up because they have to hold the ricotta. Obviously, in Carlentini area, we have mostly sheep. So our ricotta, the tradition in our area is a sheep ricotta. And we work it with the sugar and with the cinnamon if the family likes this version. In my family, they like to add a little piece of dark chocolate right in the middle. So while you're eating the cassatella, you will find a little surprise. Others, they put chocolate drops. Others, they put the powder of cacao on the top with the cinnamon. So every family has its own way. And when we make it all together, everybody can recognize which is his own hand. So if I was there with the Silvanna, with my mom, with my cousin, and maybe Erica and other people, everybody at the really end recognizes his own according to the style. So like, I made this one. Because
allora, Eleonora, ho preso la ricetta, l'ho mandata a Nick, però è scritta in
io
corsivo
sto
poco
intrattenendo
veloce.
dicendo che
Sì.
ognuno ha il suo modo, il suo stile. Oh,
Sì.
look at that. You write in an old agenda. I love those kind of
Sì. Io ho l'agenda con le cose che mi ha dato mia mamma, le ricette di mia nonna.
Hai una calligrafia molto simile a quella di mia zanella, pazzesco. Siete che siete... Sì, se te la faccio vedere è molto simile. Allora,
Per
cassatelle
cui, allora.
con ricotta, 1 chilo di farina, so could be half pound of flour of hard wheat. So you don't use the Mallorca,
No, grano duro.
the zero.
Grano
the
duro è la
farina.
farina del pane.
So she uses the flour to make the bread.
Questa è ricetta antica di mia nonna.
This is an old recipe of her grandma. And then, Silvana, sono 200 grammi di zucchero.
200 grammi di zucchero, sì.
200 grams of sugar. Should be maybe 1 cup and a half. I will translate it in American. Ora poi la converto in americano con cups and 3 eggs, 100 grams of olive oil, usually is like a little glass, 1/3, that means the yeast usually is inside the little pockets, little piccole bustine. This is hard to translate.
Un pizzico, si può dire un pizzico di lievito.
Ma il lievito metti 1/3 della bustina di Bartolini?
Sì, pochissimo se ne mette.
Let's say half teaspoon, o sarebbe mezzo cucchiaino di tè, si potrebbe essere?
Sì, anche di meno.
Even less of yeast. Loro gli americani però usano la soda, è
lo stesso, penso che sia
baking soda. So just a little, and then the wine, 1 glass, a little pinch of salt, latte quello che prende. And here comes the Sicilian. Okay. Here comes the Sicilian. Milk, how much it takes? By eye.
Che dopo che tu hai fatto l'impasto, comunque la cosa migliore sarebbe usare lo strutto. Ovviamente si usava lo strutto.
Lo strutto anziché l'olio di semi?
Sì, perché proprio la ricetta antica è con lo strutto.
The ancient recipe has no olive oil, it has the fat of the pork. So thanks to that, the cookie will be crispier and crunchier. But this is a modern version because very often there are vegans, vegetarians.
Lo strutto è quello che gli dà quella morbidezza, cioè le sente molto più buone.
The fat of the pork that looks like butter. In Omaha, we made the cannoli with Carmelita, and they find, how do you call it, the fat of the pork over there? That looks like butter.
The lard.
Lard?
Il lardo di maiale, sì, il lardo di maiale però liquido, si fa sciogliere poi nella pentola e diventa liquido.
Loro lo comprano con la stessa consistenza che ce l'abbiamo noi, identica, sembra nella confezione delle mascarpone. It looks like
anche da noi
packaging looks like the mascarpone cheese, like in Sicily, exactly the same. And then 1 kilo of ricotta, so 1/2 pound of ricotta, sugar and cinnamon according to your taste, 2 eggs in the middle of mix with the ricotta. Ok,
allora,
now that you know a little bit more of the recipe.
Dopo che tu hai messo tutte queste cose, alla fine ti accorgi che c'è bisogno di aggiungere il latte per rendere la pasta di consistenza, però non troppo morbida, deve essere un po' dura, come vedete qua. Visto? È la terza foto.
Silvanna says, as you can see, you mix all the ingredients and then it's going to be a hard dough. And then you add a little bit in the middle, and then when you work it,
ecco, questa è la consistenza finale.
That has to be not too soft, so it must hold the ricotta. That's the ricotta, the 2 eggs, the cinnamon and sugar.
E lo zucchero. Lo zucchero a piacere. Tu assaggi l'assaggi e vedi se ti piace.
You taste and you add or according to your taste, let's say.
Lenora, you said a kilo of...
Sì.
Un chilo quando corrisponde, non lo so.
A kilo, you said...
Well,
a kilo's 2.2 pounds.
Oh, it's the opposite. It's 1 pound that is 1/2 kilo. Okay, thank you.
I was like, that's a lot. I looked at the small amount. That's a lot.
1 kilo is 2 pounds.
Yeah, 2.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eleanor, I make a recipe also, and mine makes considerably fewer. Mine makes 6 to 7 pastries, and I usually double it. But for me, the ricotta is the same as you said, but it was 1 cup of ricotta, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, 2 eggs, and vanilla.
You see, very similar.
Very similar.
And then look at the nest that she makes. They can stand up.
Right.
They
we
hold
put it in like a
ricotta.
cupcake pan, and then it stands up.
Yeah, but she makes it with her hands and she
Oh,
let
yeah.
them standing up, so no
Oh,
help.
okay. Okay.
And that's when you understand that
Si stende col mattarello, ovviamente, non deve essere troppo sottile. Vuoi vedere meno di mezzo centimetro.
how do you call the wood
Rolling
the wood
pin?
is rolling?
Rolling pin.
Rolling pin. Rolling pin.
No, you have to make it thinner with the rolling pin, and it
Right.
must be not too thin.
Right.
And that's the final. Ah, che
Sì.
buone, buonissime.
Io quest'anno
I
non le ho
don't put-
fatte, ma penso che le farò.
Yeah, I don't put wine or beer in it. It's just the combination of flour, sugar, a little bit of milk, and Crisco, which would be the fat.
So seeing that Easter is coming, we celebrated a little our traditions, adding some culinary. Do you have the sweet tooth? Il
Comunque
dentino
poi
d'oro,
si mettono ovviamente nel forno per una ventina di minuti.
20 minutes baked in the oven, and then they are ready.
Okay,
And
so
poi
let's switch gears for a minute here. Since we have Sebastian and Jean that are with us now, and Teresa, is there anybody else in your group besides those two connections?
I don't see anyone.
Okay.
So
I think that's it. I think we're it.
Well, why don't we do introductions, and we'll start with our most recent, our guests here, Sebastian and Jean. Would you introduce yourselves, please?
Sure. Sebastian and Jean Manganaro, and was born in Omaha, late 40s. My parents were first generation, and my grandfather immigrated from Hello in 1907, and came to Omaha, started a shoe, he was a cobbler, a shoemaker, and started a shoe shop and a dry cleaner.
Sebastian, can I translate you
Please.
shortly? Can I interrupt you to translate
Sure,
in Italian
sure.
shortly? Allora, Sebastian e Jean Manganaro, il nonno di Sebastian, lui emigrò nel 1907 a Omaha ed era un calzolaio. They were from Carlentini.
My mother's side was from Carlentini.
Mm-hmm.
They are
Il lato di sua
Constantino,
mamma erano di Carlentini.
Constantino,
Costantino, ok.
Inayo.
So the Manganaros were from Villatello in Val di Catania.
Yeah, down the street from Carlentini.
Well, e invece, ok, Sebastiano è Militello Val di Catania, Manganaro. In effetti Manganaro è tipico di quella zona.
E comunque
So
ci
they
sono
have,
molte persone di
they also have
Militello
Franco.
anche che sono venute alle Fili.
Vero.
Mio zio, per
They
esempio,
have
era
Franco
di
from
Militello.
Carlentini, and they have Constantino from Lentini, which I don't think originally there
Venivano per le arance, vero Silvana?
No, veniva, non lo so, per lavorare qui a Lentini.
That's true. Silvana was saying a lot of people in the past from Etna, from the slopes of the Etna, and Militello Val di Catania is along the
Militello Val di
slope of the-
Catania non è proprio...
They used to come in Lentini and Carlentini for work.
Io ho uno zio che veniva da Militello.
And Silvana has an uncle who came from Militello, and maybe sometimes they felt in love and they met someone in Carlentini as your ancestors, your grandparents. Even inside the museum of Alfio Caltabiano, that is the museum of all the trades and and all the traditions as well. There is a bicycle that was used to clean the knives and make them cutting better. And that bicycle, he said, this comes from Militello, I think he said. It was a man who used to come from the Etna once a week and then go back to the Etna. And it took 6 hours to ride the bicycle from there as far as Carlentini.
Immagino, no?
Sì, c'è una bicicletta alla fila coltelli da Calcio Caltabello. Lui mi diceva che veniva da Militello, se non sbaglio, sto signore, in the 20s, negli anni
Per esempio,
20.
una cosa interessantissima è il fatto che a Villasmundo, cioè la città di Villasmundo, è stata creata con tutte persone che venivano dai paesi dell'Etna, perché il marchese di San Giuliano aveva le sue tenute nell'Etna e quando ha preso il marchesato ha portato tutta una colonia di persone che venivano da
Silvanna, she's saying that all the people in Villasmundo, they have totally a different origins from Carlentinesi and Lentinesi. Now I'm adding Lentinesi, they descend from the Greeks because it was founded 2700 years ago. Carlentinesi, they descend from the Spanish because Carlentini was founded by Charles V in the 1535. So after that, we start with different origins. And Silvanna is saying Villasmundo, that is very close to Carlentini, for example, is the result of a lot of people coming from all over the little villages around the Etna, because when the Marquise became a Marquise, qual era il Marchese Beneventano?
San Giuliano, no, il Marchese di
San Giuliano, I'm sorry, the Marquise San Giuliano took the title. He took that land as well. So he decided to import the arms, the shoulders, the men already that he already knew from the other villages from the Etna.
Per esempio, la mia bisnonna veniva da Via Grande.
Your great grandma used to come from Via Grande. Interesting relation.
E poi molti cognomi di Villasmundo sono tipicamente catanesi.
Grande is where the wineries are now, or one winery I know of.
So for you, it's nothing, just 5 miles, maybe less. But for us, we are people belonging to different words.
Mia nonna, per esempio, si chiamava Coco, che è un nome tipicamente catanese. Alcuni parenti si chiamano Catana.
Coco, Catana, family.
Let me just interrupt. I'm sorry. I want to ask Teresa. Teresa, can you tell us how you are related to Sebastian and Jean?
Yes, so Sebastian is mio cugino. So we share the same.
So you share a grandparent then? You share a grandparent? And what is the names of those grandparents?
Lucia Franco and Sebastiano Manganaro.
Okay, thank you. So, okay,
Teresa, where are you in the United
States? Let's do quick intros of our group for these folks. And also, Mary Di Crescenzo, you have to refresh my memory. Tell us a little bit about yourself too, please.
Hi, everyone. I live in Rhode Island, originally from Waterbury, Connecticut, where my Italian family is from. I'm one of 9, and my dad moved us to Rhode Island from Waterbury in the 60s. So I would like to know about my grandfather, Alfio Commendatore, who was from Lentini, Sicily. And he was born in 1888. And his grandparents, all his family were born in Lentini, as far as I know. So I kind of got stuck on my great grandparents, and through this group have found more, and it's been a great thing, and I appreciate that. I have.
Okay, I remember now, Alfio Commendatore.
Commendatore was my grandma.
And that's a very common name in Lentini.
It is. I didn't know that. That's great. And my grandfather also married my grandmother, her name was Paula Gervasi, and she was from Syracuse, Creole.
Mhm.
They met there, and my grandmother, the family sent my grandmother to the United States to get away from him, from what I'm told. And my grandfather followed her here. They ended up getting married, and they had 9 children.
Wow, can I translate it
them
in
was
Italian
my dad.
shortly?
What is it?
Allora, Mary dice che sua nonna Paola Gervasi era di Priolo e si era innamorato con suo nonno commendatore. Is it correct? Was the one who got married with the commendatore, the one with the 9 kids?
Yes.
Sì. E questo signore commendatore era di Lentini e si era innamorato di questa signora di Priolo. Però la famiglia di lei, lui non piaceva e la spedirono in America per scappare da questo signore. E lui la seguì fino in America, si sposarono e poi hanno avuto 9 figli.
I put something in the chat. I said, please raise your hand if you have Lentini ancestors. So,
Alzate la
Mary-
mano se siete antenati di Lentini.
so Mary, you have quite a few Lentini folks here.
That's
Nick,
All right, so
Nick? Could I ask Mary,
yes.
did you grow up with any of the regalias in Waterbury?
It doesn't ring a bell. No.
They live on.
It doesn't ring a bell. I like your
Yeah,
metaphor.
they lived, is it in the Pinnacle Heights
Sicilian.
area of Waterbury?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
lived in what they called the town plot.
Yeah, that's where they were, Tom Plot.
Okay.
Yeah,
My mother and
bet-
father probably knew them. They probably all went to school together.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huge
there's
Usually you find a cousin after 4 minutes and a half
Exactly.
in this group.
A lot of people, both sides. My other grandmother was from Sicily. She was from Catania, and my grandfather was from Calabria.
Ah,
That's a whole nother set. So
That's
we
the
have
same
a lot of family, a
Yep,
lot.
same with me, half Calabrese, half Sicilian.
Yes.
mezza calabrese, mezza
Oh,
Sicilia.
they
What a
will-
spicy mix. Don't let her be angry.
Don't ask my husband that.
Ho
That's
scritto
your husband problem.
Yeah.
Eleonora, puoi dire a Scott che gli ho mandato un messaggio perché oggi ho parlato con mia cugina di Blasmundo che conosce tutti i parenti
Silvana,
Rogaglia.
she's talking to you. Silvana, she's talking to you. She sent you a message.
Oh,
Bellissimo.
Gli ho
So,
mandato un messaggio. su
Teresa and
Messenger.
Sebastian and Jane, are you in New York as well, like Karen, or are you around United States? Where are you settled?
We we are in New Mexico currently.
Ah, okay, New Mexico. Interesting.
And I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Ah, okay. St. Louis.
And so there's 13 of us coming to Sicily in September and October.
I know.
So it's Sebastian and his 2 brothers and a spouse and 8 cousins, which is Teresa from St. Louis. And we're all coming over.
Yeah, Karen
Sebastian
wrote
and
me.
his brother and spouse and I are going to be there for a month. All the cousins for a week, and Teresa's going to come with us for some of our month time. And yeah.
Is Karen following you for the itinerary and everything? Because usually I work a lot with her as well.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. So I guess we will meet in Sicily.
That would be wonderful.
Are you in
Sì.
Albuquerque?
We're outside of Albuquerque, a small community called.
I'm sorry, Larry?
Yeah, I was asking if they were from Albuquerque in New Mexico, because I have a cousin in Albuquerque and I visit there occasionally. I was there twice in the last year. Yeah,
Yeah, we live in a small community outside of Albuquerque.
yeah, good. Yeah,
Wow, you see, we are all connected.
yeah.
So I sent them the invitations through Karen, who is a friend of mine. I think I mentioned to you her company, Karen La Rosa Work. Every time I go to New York, I meet her, we talk, we gather, we go out for dinner or lunch. Last time in December, we visited together the Metropolitan Museum, and we cooperate a lot. So with some of you, I help building a tailor-made tour according to my connections, like with Larry. We're still building your tour. I finally found a local guide for May 1st yesterday. So
Yeah.
that's when he goes like, I needed this. Well, my goodness. But we did it. And so when Karen wrote me, I was like, oh, I'm so happy that the whole family is coming. This is so beautiful. This is like a life trip. Have you ever been to Sicily? Siete mai stati in Sicilia?
No.
No? It's
So-
special. It's like the first time I went to Omaha. I was looking at the street and I was like, my great grandpa was here. Maybe he stopped here. Maybe he touched this stone. Maybe he was in this house. So you feel like home being there for the first time. What do you think about your first time in Sicily? Is there someone who wants to share your own feeling? C'è qualcuno che vuole condividere il proprio sensazione la prima volta che siete venuti in Sicilia?
My first time in Sicily was when I was 20 years old, and the sister of one of my grandmothers was still alive and living there in Carlentini, so I was welcomed by the family. And it's such an amazing feeling to walk the streets that your grandfather, you knew they walked those streets before they went to America. We did the passeggiato. We made the passeggiato before dinner every
When
night.
you're here, you're Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, sì, sono Lorenzo Cimino in Sicilia.
Esatto, Lorenzo
Sì.
Cimino.
Yeah.
Bravo.
I did want to
L'ha
share
detto
with
proprio bene.
Sì.
Sebastian said that his nanu was a shoemaker, and my nanu Salvatore Cimino was also a shoemaker. I have a picture of him. I'll show you in the shoe shop if I can share just for a moment. I thought it might be interesting to see. There he is. This was his shoe shop in Omaha. Can you see that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Sì.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he looks like he's wearing more shoe polish than he has on the shoes, but that would have been a long time ago. He looks like he was probably in his 20s, maybe 30. But they had 7 children. And
Do you know the address for that?
I don't know where it was. I think it was in a couple of different locations over time. So, but I have a couple of pictures from him in different shops. I think my grandmother was the brains of the family. She invested in real estate and they had several little houses, and a lot of people. That was the first stop when they came to America. They stayed in one of her houses until they got settled. People from Carlentini or Lentini, and she helped them get oriented. My father was a pharmacist, so actually he spoke Sicilian his whole life because some of the old aunties who never learned English.
Your father?
My father, yeah.
Suo papà ha parlato il siciliano in dialetto in tutta la sua vita, e questo era il negozio del calzolaio di tuo nonno.
Yeah. So he thought actually, because virtually everyone he knew was Sicilian, he thought he was speaking Italian until I took him to Italy. I couldn't understand anything in Rome. But when we got to Sicily, it was fantastic because
la prima volta che è venuto in Italia lui pensava di parlare italiano, perché tutte le persone che conosceva a Omaha che erano italiani erano siciliani, quindi parlavano in siciliano. Quindi quando è venuto in Italia parlava in dialetto agli italiani e non capivano niente e rideva.
Ti posso raccontare un aneddoto che mi raccontava mia nonna. Mia nonna andò in America a trovare il figlio, no?
Silvanna has a little story for you. Her grandma went to United States.
E allora c'erano tutti i parenti che erano andati lì. E allora una di queste signore disse: guarda, mi devi spiegare una cosa. Dice, io ho incontrato una signora italiana. E allora parlavamo in inglese. A un certo punto abbiamo capito che eravamo italiani. Dice, perché non parliamo italiano? E si sono messi a parlare italiano. Allora, lei parlava siciliano e la signora era di Bergamo. Quindi uno parlava siciliano, uno bergamasco.
So when she arrived in Omaha, there was a lady who said, I'm
Non
Italian.
in Omaha, in Connecticut.
In Connecticut, so they could speak Italian. But her grandma was a Sicilian, and the lady over there in Connecticut was from Bergamo. So they
Oh.
didn't
No,
understand
no,
each
no, Eleonora, no, non è così.
No?
C'è una signora di una parente di mia nonna gli ha chiesto, sì, ma perché noi non ci capivamo? Se io eravamo tutti e due italiani, però dice, io ero siciliana e lei era di Bergamo. E poi mia nonna gliel'ha spiegato. Ha spiegato, tu eri siciliana, parlavate in dialetto, non in italiano.
Ho capito. E chi era questa che gliel'ha chiesto? Una cugina?
Una cugina che abitava in
A
America.
cousin was asking, Auntie, but why when you were with that Italian lady, you didn't understand each other? And then she explained, because I speak Sicilian, she speaks another language from Bergamo.
Bergamo.
So we can't understand each other.
Mm.
They
That was
made
a picture
Italy,
of,
now they have to make the Italians.
Yeah.
Certo, loro parlavano il dialetto, non la lingua
Yeah, because we
italiana.
speak dialect. If you will be in Carlentini, there is such a little lovely museum of old traditions. And this gentleman, he has collected a lot of old objects. And at the entrance on the right inside, there is exactly the section dedicated to the shoemaker. And he has as well some little tools that were used in Omaha in the United States. And he said that over there, shoes were full of colors. So to clean them, they need different colors, while here there were different style, let's say. So it's very interesting seeing that you have in your family this kind of common job, this ancient trade. Nobody wants to be shoemaker. In Lentini, there is just one left. That's it.
Lenore, you know, it's funny is my grandparents, my grandfather on my mother's side was a shoemaker. So we have this bond among us, even if we're not directly related. And I was just cleaning out my parents' house, and I brought back here 2 of the brass shoe holders. When you polish it, my parents put a base on it to hold the door open. So I have those now in my house that my grandfather in the 1920s and 30s and 40s.
Oh, those are
in his
priceless,
shop.
Beautiful. Lui ha le classiche forme dove si infilava la scarpa poi per pulirle. Anche lui aveva i suoi antenati che erano calzolai e ha trovato queste cose a casa dei suoi nonni. Your grandparents, he said, right?
Yeah, my mother's side, the Calabrese.
Sì, i nonni dal lato di sua mamma erano anche loro calzolai.
Stiamo parlando di Scotto?
Scotto?
He had sent me some information on his mother's family tree. And I found this marriage record for Giuseppe Randazzo and Laura Tramonte. And Larry, you were thinking that maybe Laura wasn't actually an Italian name, but it certainly is in this case.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, that was good. I thought that maybe it was anglicized, you know, and that that it was that she had changed it from something else. As
No,
my grandmother on my nonna Concetto Cimino Franco, she went by Sarah, but her name was Concetta, but it was she
that's
chose.
pretty common.
Yeah, yeah.
I see a lot of that in our family too. Concettas that became Sarahs, and then you had Prudence Felicina, but her actual name was Providenza.
Yeah. Thank you for looking that up. You found some other things that were different spellings and such. That
yeah, and I'm not sure you had Caterina as Falcone, and that to me looks like Falsone, not Falcone.
Yeah.
But,
hey, Larry.
Yeah.
Larry, do you have his World War I draft card, Salvatore's?
No, I don't. Do you?
I do, and it has an address for the shop.
Really?
Yeah, 817 and a half North 40th Street in Omaha.
Wow.
Okay, just for the new ones, because
Right on Main Street.
seeing that we have people for the first time here tonight. So we have a team of genealogists, as you can see, our priceless arms and eyes, Nick Cimino, Jim Beckman, and there is Dean as well. And then we have Nick Gibilisco, who helps with the double citizenship. And then the rest is all family, friends following. And every week we gather here, as you can see, is a pretty freestyle. And we give space to the new people, having sometimes a first approach for the really first time into their genealogical tree. And just in the last 3 years, so we have updated more than, I think, 200 family trees, maybe more. We have digitalized the cemetery of Carlentini, 7,000 graves. And Jim has, Jim Beckman, he has a mother family tree, as we call it, with more than 40,000 people, maybe 50,000.
Well, I think there was, for Carlentini specifically, there was over 23,000.
Mm-hmm. So that's how it works. And Nick is our W07.
Yeah, well, I think Jim is right there with me.
Yeah,
in that regard.
Jim as
but,
well. He follows you like Batman and Robin.
That's right. We're the
Dorothy
two
Senti.
agents. The men from Uncle.
Senti.
You know this address, and I'm thinking about it. This is like up there by the cathedral on North 40th Street. And
So Jim, I can't seem to find that. So maybe is it in your tree? Should I pull it up?
yeah, bring up Salvatore Cimino.
Okay.
So let's give us some space to the new ones.
Okay, so yeah, that's Salvatore Randazzo. That's on my Randazzos were on my
The other
mother's.
Cimino.
Yeah. Salvatore Cimino. I mean, I'm sure there were dozens of them, but that's my.
It
That's
wasn't
my-
Randazzo, it was
my father.
Cimino. Okay, so that's where I screwed up. But let's find Salvatore Cimino in Jim's tree.
Otherwise known as Sam.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
When was he born?
He was born 24 May 1889.
1889. There he is. Okay, so this is Jim's profile with the attached records with his World War I. And so going back to that shoemaker image, this shows you that he was in business for himself at 817 and a half North 40th Street, Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah. Look at this.
I'm not sure.
Way to go.
I'm not sure what it is, what building it's in, but there's like a cafe up there now that could be the shop.
For sure, next time I'll be in Omaha, I will take a look.
It's interesting.
Okay,
He
so
spells it with an S.
Yeah.
I think
It's also in.
I need to go back to
Hanno trovato
the
l'indirizzo del calzolaio.
And so Teresa, which one of these is it father?
Yes, Frank J. Manganaro is my father.
Okay.
So we get into the family now.
Profile.
The Radio Cafe, the address of the Radio Cafe is 817 North 40th Street. So it would have been in that building where the Radio Cafe and Sweet Magnolia, the pastry shop, are.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Frank, and he died in 1978, and he's buried in St. Louis, and his spouse Mildred, and
Frank.
One of your sisters was Anne, is that right?
Yes, I
Okay,
have
so let's,
9, I have 8 siblings.
oh, wow. That'll keep us busy.
Well, with baptism and the first confirmation, communion, and weddings, it's beautiful.
Next. So this all matches up. Lucia Franco.
Mhm.
She is our Carlentini lady.
Yes.
So
And then-
Sebastiano really had 2 spouses. He had Antonia, and then she passed away, and then her sister Lucia came from Italy, from Sicily, to Omaha and married him. But I don't know how to do this as well as you do, so I'm the one that
Yeah, that's why we like it.
I'm the one that started this whole thing, but I don't know how to fit everybody in. So,
Okay, well, let's just, while we're here, let's just add, I'm blanking on your name again. The
Teresa?
daughter of Frank,
Oh, Teresa.
Teresa, I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so is it TH or TE?
Teresa.
Okay.
Italian version.
And last name is
And-
Norman.
What year were you born, Teresa?
1954. 7/22/54.
Oh, 7/22. So we were very close. I'm 7/29.
Oh, okay.
So we got to have a birthday party together.
So where did you go to school, Teresa?
Where did I go to school?
Yeah, in
You
Omaha.
mean, oh, I did not go to school in Omaha. No, my father did. And Sebastian's father, they were from Omaha,
Okay.
and they're brothers.
Okay, so Teresa, this is your family in the 1950 census. And it shows John, Anne, Mary, and Francis as your siblings that were born prior to 1950.
Also my sister Anne. So it's Anne, Mary, John, and Frank were born before 50.
Okay, so John was born in 48. Anne was born in 46 or 47.
Yeah, Mary and Anne were twins, so they were born in 46.
Okay.
So here we get into the genealogy and then matches.
Let's
So
see,
Sebastian and Jane and
46.
Teresa, what are you looking for exactly? Someone who is still alive, ancestors and graves, both, something else?
I'm probably a little of both.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That I think the interest is all around with anything we can, accomplish. So it's and looking forward to, the possibility of seeing, maybe where our family was actually lived, and then if we would find some living relatives, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, this could be the best scenario that we
Mhm.
find the ancestors and their graves, their homes, maybe with their addresses, and the descendants who are still around. So you can have a family reunion when you will be here. Last year, we organized all of that for 120 in Carlentini. Was a huge delegation with the Mayor Stoddard as well. Obviously, she is nobody in Sicily, but she was the guest of honor. So I would love to find more details and show you where they are when you will be here at the cemetery. So we don't have to go
So
through.
it's interesting here. Connie, you're with us, right? I see you have Sebastian Manganaro in your tree.
Yes.
What is your connection?
I'm looking at it right now. I have a lot of Manganaros in my tree because Nettie Nigro married into the family of the Manganaros. So
Okay.
they are like my not first cousin, but wife of first cousin.
Ah, ok, lei ha i parenti di Manganaro perché è la moglie di suo primo cugino. Look, are those all matches? Are we on ancestry.com?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because Nick
And-
uses as well family search sometimes.
Yeah, this is other family trees. Of course, Dean has a tree, and Connie also has these folks in her tree. And then there was one other that I saw. So as far as the children, it looks like the information is pretty consistent, but
Eleonora, a Lentini ci sono dei Manganaro. C'è un signor
so
Manganaro
Frank
che
died in
fa
St. Louis, didn't he?
soccorso auto.
Teresa, did Frank die in St. Louis?
Yes, he did.
Che dicevi Silvana, a Lentini ci sono Manganaro e sono quelli delle
C'è
auto.
uno che fa soccorso automobilistico, sai, con i camion.
Ah, Silvana, she's saying because she's our alive Facebook. Silvana is in Carlentini, while I'm in Sicily, but actually I'm still in Modica because of my work. Planning to move soon to Carlentini. And Silvana, she works in the administration of the elementary school of Carlentini. So she knows everybody in town.
No, beh, questo lo conosco per altri motivi, perché una volta ci abbiamo
And
creato.
she has a great memory as well. Hai anche una grande memoria. And she's saying that in Lentini, there is this Manganaro who is the help when you need support in the highway. So when you break your car and wherever is a security system, it has a security company helping cooperating with the assistance with the insurances. Yeah, it's a first help in the when we have issues related to our cars in the middle of the road. I don't know how do you call it in English? Do you have a specific name for that?
We call it roadside assistance.
Roadside assistance. I learned something new.
Yeah, and you might get it from a tow truck company mostly. But then there are other companies that are like have auto shops or what have you.
Assistance.
Eccolo qua, Manganaro, soccorso stradale Sicilia. Via stazione 30, Sicilia, Lentini.
So if you wanted to try to reach out to Manganaros in Sicily, you would probably need to find the descendants of Carmelo and Vita di Pasquale.
This person that Silvana is mentioning has a business close to the railway station of Lentini. I'm sorry, in Carlentini there isn't. La stazione di Lentini del treno.
Via stazione 30.
Sì, dove c'è la palestra Bodicane.
It's nice to meet people that have the same surname, but even like with me and Larry, I mean, we can trace back pretty far and not find a connection. It's always better if you can find somebody that's actually related in some way. So one question I have, Jean, is in your tree, you have this Rosario that was born in 1878 and died in 1925. but you didn't have a place of death. Do you have any idea whether it was Italy or the United States?
Checking on it now.
He was buried in Holy Sepulchre
oh.
in Omaha.
And
Oh, he's okay. So he's an Omaha guy. Okay, so
there was
okay.
Salvatore was died in 1944 in Italy.
Okay, so his sibling Salvatore is died in Italy. So 1944, that sounds like a war death.
Right.
But I think he's
Is-
buried in Omaha too, although I
Is
haven't
it-
really confirmed that.
Okay.
And I have a Rosario Manganaro who died 5th of October, 1925 in Omaha. That's the one, the son of Carmelo. And I also have pictures of his wife, Louise Nobile, and his children, Anthony Rosario Manganaro and Vita Manganaro.
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 Manganaro is the
Manganaro.
Italian pronunciation. But how do you guys say your name in the Sebastian family?
Manganaro.
Manganaro? Uh-huh. Yeah, that would be an American pronunciation.
Yeah.
More like a mango, but the
Yeah.
Italian would be more like manga rather, Manganaro.
Manganaro.
Mhm.
Manganaro.
Okay, so Rosario died in Omaha. Sebastiano died in Omaha. What about Francesco? What do we know about Francesco?
I have a big question mark. I don't know.
Grandissimo punto interrogativo.
Okay.
Non si sa dove è morto.
What do we know about Carmelo and Vita? Know where they died?
No, I do not. No, I do not know.
Okay, so I note that you have Militello as a death place. So is that a presumption or do you know that for a fact?
I must not know. I don't
Okay.
think I know either of their deaths. I know.
So
I
one
have
of
their. Go ahead.
one of the keys to figuring out when these people died is to look at the marriage records for their children. So Sam, I know, was married in the United States, I think, right?
Yeah, and I got a marriage date for that.
Okay,
Well,
let's see what the other trees have for Sam.
And I have a parent, the parents of Carmelo Manganaro, born 1845. I don't have any information, but I do have the names, and it's Niccolo, Niccolo Manganaro.
Mhm.
And the mother
Mhm.
is Nicoletta Renda.
Okay,
And I do
All right.
have a death date, a birth and death date for the grandfather, great grandfather, and the great grandmother. I have a birth date, maybe.
okay. So, this,
So do you got
Is it-
the birth location for these folks too? For Rosario Manganaro?
I don't.
You-
He was born
Yeah.
in
1876.
1878 in Militello,
Right.
Messina.
okay, so let's go to Jim's tree then, and we're gonna
I
look
don't-
for Sebastiano Manganaro.
It's kind of it's kind of a shotgun thing here because these are not really all Carlentini, but they ended up in Omaha somehow.
Okay. Okay, so you have Carmelo as a son of Sebastiano. Sebastiano and Antonia Franca. So this
Yeah.
is the other Franco that you were talking about, right, Jean?
Right, so that's his first wife, and she passed away in August 20th, 1914.
Okay, so let's add this. So we're gonna save
Good.
the
It's
tree.
important when we have info. Very helpful.
Oh, and Antonia, I have.
Well, let me get them in here. And I guess I had that already from your tree. But Jim
So
had
many.
the exact date of birth for her. So if we go, it's going to show her as second, but where's Carmelo? Okay, here's Carmelo. So Carmelo there were other children besides Carmelo, Antonia?
No.
Okay, so let's, so you had 28th of August, 1914, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's add a marriage date. We're gonna say it was before.
I have it.
What's going on here? It looks like we might have.
I have a
Do we
marriage
have
date.
no. Oh, okay. We need to edit Carmelo because he's a son of Antonia.
Yes.
So, look at it, edit relationships. So it's not Lucia. I had mother Antonia. Save. Okay, so if we go to Sebastiano's timeline again, we'll see birth of son Carmelo in 1910. So the wedding of Sebastiano and Antonia had to occur before 1910.
It was
So,
November 20th, 1909.
okay, and marriage. Oops. And
Good Catholic Italians. 1 year
what was
later.
that date again? What was the date?
11/20/1909.
And that was in Carlentini?
No.
In Omaha.
In Omaha, okay.
Omaha, somewhere in the middle of America. Mhm. I do the entertainment.
Okay, so that gets the timeline right. We got a marriage, we got a birth, we got a death, we got another marriage. And then we have
three
Frank,
sons.
Sam, Rosario.
After
Rosario
that,
dies young. And Salvatore dies young. Or
I'm sorry,
Sam.
could you back up again? What was Lucia's birthday?
Hold it. I got an extra name.
Say that
Lucia's
again.
birthday? Lucia Franco's birthday?
Lucia Franco, yeah.
His birth date is October 9th. Either 1894 or 1896.
Or 1893?
Is that what you
I
have,
don't-
Jim, is 1893?
Well, I don't have the marriage, but I have a birth on 9 October 1893.
Okay, so let's see if we have your tree connected here. We got
Because-
Connie, Frank, Jean. No, we don't have Jim's tree connected for that. So let's go back here. And we'll go here and go home. And then pick up Jim's tree. And we're going to find Lucia Franco that was born in 1893. Whoops. Okay, so 1893. There's only 29 Lucia Franco in your tree.
Well, on
Only-
something it had a middle initial of M. And I have a death date of 1969.
Okay, so let me just pull this. Well, I guess I could just save as well. Save to tree. And this would be Lucia Franco. So I made a few myself. You had 1969 as her death date, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go with Jim's date, Jim's place name. We'll stick with Jean's date of death. We're going to add her parents from Jim's tree, which is kind of nice. So,
Right, I have those on mine too, but I didn't know anything about them.
okay. And then there's these other children. So you may be able to meet some Francos. We might more luck connecting you with Francos than we would with Manganaros, because our databases are so much stronger for Carlentini. Let's
All right.
see.
Well, I got a scoot.
Okay.
So I'll catch y'all later.
All right, Jim.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
You
Thank
bet.
you,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You betcha.
Okay, so let's just look and see if I have a duplicate in here. I do not. That's interesting. Okay, so they did have quite an abundant family, it looks like. Francesco Franco. Okay, so this is where Jim's tree would be helpful again, is finding the length, the connection to the Franco family. And we probably should focus on the most long-lived of them. And this is Alfio Franco, died in 1937. So let's go to his profile. And we'll look and see what Jim had on his tree. Yes, he does have quite a few descendants. So let's save those to our tree for Alfio. It's the 1881. Okay, so we had all this. But his spouse was Sebastiana Garotto. She died in 35. But they had a daughter named Ana Franco, who died after 1942. So she might actually be in the cemetery records. Maria might also be in cemetery records. And Josepina Franco would definitely be in the cemetery records. This one, maybe not. Rosa, probably not. So this gives us Franco relatives that we could track down. And the beauty that we have, Sebastian and Jean, is this cemetery record for the cemetery of Carlentini, and we have a database of folks that are buried in the cemetery. So if we go to Ana Franco, I don't know if we'll find the name of her husband, but we should look at least. Oh, it's there, Pietro Filippone. So let's add that to the tree.
A little
Save
more
to-
peace. Our
And then-
puzzle grows.
This is so exciting. Thank you.
I know, and when it's your family, it's like a freezy feeling, like, oh, that's more. I remember when I think tonight Betty is not here. We found as well the address and where her grandma was born, and we went to Google Earth and we look at the house. And now she's coming back to Sicily, straight ahead, going in that house. So it's always a new emotion.
Absolutely.
I can share with you my little story. When last time I went to Omaha, Charles Vendetti hosted me in his house in Little Italy. And thanks to Nick, I found all of my great-grandpa papers, the Naturalization Act and everything, where there was written his address when he was in Omaha, Pierce Street. So first time I wanted to see his house, but was on the opposite side of Pierce Street. Last time I was there in December, Charles hosted me in this house, and was after the gala, I think, was the night of the gala, because every year, I hope that this year it will happen. We're still working on it with the Sicula, because we are getting ready for the 100th anniversary of Santa Lucia Festival for next year. So maybe this year the gala might be moved. I don't know. But anyway, I was there, and then I said, Charles, I need the address of the house where you're hosting me to go back home. And then he said, well, you are in Pierce Street. I was like, are you kidding me? Am I sleeping in the same street where my great grandpa used to live? I know Pierce Street. And I started crying. After 100 years, my great grandpa was there 1922, and I slept there 2022. I mean, how many streets do we have in Omaha? Right there. So it was like, okay, now I know where I'm staying because I spent there a couple of weeks. So I said, now I know how to go back home every time.
Oh, wow.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
That's
I think that
wonderful.
they look at us. Yeah.
That's not a map either.
Marianne Sofia, she's a great tour guide in Omaha. So I can't wait to have another tour with her. And maybe we will add more little curiosities. Who knows? I was talking in the meanwhile, Nick, I can keep talking forever, you know that, right? So you
Sure,
just tell
go right
us.
ahead.
Okay. Last time I was talking with Sherry, and we were talking about the strange, controversial topic of Cristobal Columbus, that all the statues they have been removed from the parks celebrating Christopher Colombo. And she said there's a beautiful park in Omaha that is close to Little Italy where that was Columbus Park. Is that correct? So I said, now we can take it. We make a Sicilian park. So that's the plan, to let Little Italy keep growing. And maybe we can make some nice bust of the most important people who made the difference in Omaha coming from Italy. Maybe lawyers, doctors, I don't know, singers, artists in general. So this could be an idea. And then another great news that I just received a couple of days ago, just to update everybody, because we have something like 40 programs keep going. Artist exchange, genealogical researches, dual citizens assistance, and every day there is something new, Italian language lessons for kids, for adults. And sometimes we go like, why don't we have Sicilian lessons? Why don't we start with cooking classes? Why don't we do this? Why don't we translate the books? Why don't we translate letters? So we have so many. But what I really love the most are all the letters, recipes of families and grandmas, and the education. So the great news is that with Sicula, we are organizing a donation to both elementary schools. So they will receive an amount of money, and it will be used for mainly to buy items, because one of the two schools, in particular Charles V, they are starting a new program adapting the American model into the Italian school, because at the elementary school in Sicily, kids, they don't move, they sit 6 hours. So they are studying, and I can ask Meg as well to help, and Sherry as well, to teach to the teachers the American system of home classes and how the kids, they change classes. So the first items that they need are the lockers. So those money, they will be used to buy the lockers for the kids. While in the Pirandello school, I think that they will use it to fix the outdoor area, because it needs the beginning of a gym. The kids, they have no gym over there. So we will give the amount of money, and then they will tell us how they will use it, or even better, we will buy whatever they need directly. I think we will adopt the option number 2. See, now that I'm talking, I was like, nope, it's option number 1, no. So this is an important step. And we have, again, Mary Lou cousin, Rosaria, mamma mia, come fa Rosaria di cognome? Silvana.
Rosaria della mia scuola, Confidenti.
No, Rosaria, la ragazza, la cugina di Mary Lou dei Boy Scout.
Ah, Rosaria Bonfiglio.
You're my Facebook. Rosaria Bonfiglio wants to send her
Sono
daughter.
persone che io conosco da anni.
Yeah, I know. I know. Sometimes I miss some name. Rosaria Bonfiglio wants to send her daughter. So we are working on 1 year abroad program. She's 15, so she better get ready to her 17 years old. Yeah, so many beautiful things going on. And I will be back in Omaha in July, on July 20th for a month. But I will diet. So don't, every time I'm there, I took so many pounds. My goodness, I love eating everywhere. So many amazing lunch and dinners. So we will plan an itinerary, and I will be there for Santa Lucia Festival. And when the school will open back again, we will keep going with the letters and everything. Nick, are you there? See.
I am here, and we found a cousin, Marietta Franco, who is buried in the Carlentini Cemetery. She died in 1996. She was the widow of DeMarco. And so that's your cousin there, Sebastian.
Franco, Marietta. Vedova di Marco. Oh.
So
you find
she
some resemblance?
DeMarco.
Very similar looking to my nonna.
Are they similar?
Very similar looking.
Oh. So we give to this the name a face.
Let me put Sebastian as the home person, and we can see what your relationship is with Marietta. Sebastian. Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it matters. Because I did all this work, I put my name. So I don't know if we can switch our tree name person to Sebastian. I don't know, or if it matters.
Well, that's on your tree. This is the Italians of Omaha tree, which is the one that we're using as sort of a community tree.
Yeah.
And
as a database, yeah.
So, but you can change your tree if you wanted to change the home person, and change it back. So right now, if we look at the tree settings, we'll see that Sebastian is the home person in my tree. And if we go, I don't know why, but it's not first cousin, 1 generation removed. So your common ancestor is Francesco. And so Marietta's father, Alfio, is the brother of Sebastian's grandmother, Lucia.
Yep.
And if we look at the relationship tree, okay, so there's Marietta. Where is, okay, there's Lucia. So let's take Marietta's siblings out of the equation. And we'll take, let's see. So you're off Rosario. And Teresa's off of Frank. Let's take Teresa's. And Okay, well, this kind of shows, it's a little hard to follow perhaps, but here is Teresa, here is Sebastian, and you can see that Rosario and Frank are in the same generation as Marietta, so they're all cousins, basically, of it's not showing the connection between Lucia. Here it is, right here. Here's Lucia and Alfio and their parents. So that's the relationship to Marietta. And we can go to her profile and we can add that picture. Which I will do. But anyway, so the question now is, can we find any children of Marietta and Filippo DeMarco that are now living? Filippo may actually be in the cemetery as well. Let's see if we can find his record. Filippo. Oops, gotta put it in the right box, Nick. Now, I've seen various spellings of DeMarco. I'm going to go with this one. No, refine search. So what does she show on? Oh, shoot, I think she said DE on her stone.
Right.
Nope. That's interesting. We don't show any. Well, let's go back to her stone.
I thought it said DI.
That's what I would have thought, yeah. Was it Marietta? Franco. Yeah, that's what she has on her stone is DI space MARCO. So let's just leave her up and we'll do another window for that. And we're going to do DI space MARCO. Search the cemetery. It's not showing up. Refine search. Sometimes certain databases don't like spaces, but I'm just not seeing him in there. I can't imagine that he would still be alive because she was born in 1909 and he was born in 1906. So, so the next step from here, Teresa and Sebastian and Jean, would be to actually write to Lucy Latina with the city of Carlentini and ask her if there are any living members of the DeMarco/Franco family that you might be able to meet up with. And so we could compose an email to Lucy.
Yes, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Wow,
This is very exciting.
very.
Yep. The Ufficio Stato Civile of Carlentini works pretty well. Sometimes we had the employees in our Zoom meetings as guests, so they explained us everything, and they answered to the emails and that they can take as max as 60 days. Was that, Nick? When
They
we asked
can,
them,
although it seems like they've been pretty quick in responding to me lately. Lucy's been really good about finding some of the records from our black hole period of deaths in the 1890s.
but did you send the email to the official one that I just shared in the chat, or directly to Lucy and Reno? Both?
I did it. I've done it both ways. But lately I just been emailing Lucy directly. She's had some health issues and she apologizes, but it seems pretty quick to me. So she had no reason to apologize.
Maybe we can keep going with the same system because she knows you. Hey.
Eleonora, devo dire a
Sì.
Nick che io per esempio a Carlentini c'è una famiglia Franco molto famosa, di cui uno si chiama Francesco e il papà si chiamava Sebastiano, quindi Francesco, Sebastiano, Francesco. Capisci? Ci può essere qualche parentela con questo qua.
So Silvana, she's saying that in Carlentini there is a family, Franco, that is pretty famous, and maybe there are some relationships with them. Franco, che ha detto Franco Francesco?
Allora, il ragazzo c'è una persona che giù alla mia età si chiama Francesco, Franco, e suo padre si chiama Sebastiano, si chiamava, e suo nonno Francesco, quindi Francesco,
Franco,
Sebastiano, Francesco, un'altra volta.
who is the same
Questa
age
stranezza di
her,
somiglianza.
and his father was Sebastiano Franco.
Ti ricordi quelli che avevano la vigilanza, Franco, per le erano famosi, a parte che io li conoscevo perché abitavano così.
Quelli che vengono sempre lì nella zona di campagna a fare la sera la ronda, a girare.
Esatto, sì. Ora non so se ce l'hanno ancora.
Tina Monsone penso che li aveva anche lei, tanta gente che abita lì nella zona di campagna li aveva.
Tutti ce l'avevano, anche fanno i guardiani anche nelle baie di
The other method that I found to be...
Thank you for being with us. Ciao, sweetie.
Oh, bye, Donna. The other method that I found effective is to take that cemetery picture and post it on Say di Carlentini Facebook group and say, is anybody this lady? And I oftentimes will get people, within days responding to those kind of queries as well.
Let me see if with Teresa and Sebastian, are you on Facebook? So we can suggest you. No. Okay. Maybe Teresa.
Teresa, are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay. Teresa, because this page, are you on Facebook as Teresa Norman?
Yes.
This group works pretty well on Facebook. Let me see. Oh, see all. No, this is not you.
So, while she's looking, Teresa and Sebastian and Jean, towards the end of the meeting, you might want to download our chat log because there's probably some good information for you in there with various email addresses and so forth. And the way to do that is if you can open the meeting chat in your window, there's down where the little green thing is that says share screen, it says chat, and you can see what's being put in the chat log by clicking on the thing that says chat. And then once you get that open, at the bottom there's a little pencil and a couple other icons and then a happy face and 3 dots. And when you click on the 3 dots, it opens up a little window, and at the top it says save chat.
Yes.
So, and of course that works for anybody in the meeting. If you want to save the chat for future reference, you can do that. So, okay. So I will compose an email about Marietta Franco and her husband Filippo and DeMarco, and see if you have any relatives from that group, and we'll see what happens.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and that's the best way, the best approach when we want to come to Sicily for
Okay.
the first time. Work on it in advance, and then little by little something else will come up. And through the social, we can find alive people. That's the best part. And then Nika gave an important tip, as always. Using the Carlentini page, there are more than 5,000 people, and so many are Americans as well. Since we have started the process of being sister city, the communication has growth. So it's easier sometimes with a post. We have people answering, and we find it's nice. So
Wonderful.
just add me on Facebook, and whatever you need, let's keep being updated. I know that it will be 13 people. I know it's gonna be October, so just let me know. And I think 28th of September, 2nd and 3rd of October, I gave my availability, but I have to double check again. But anyway, we will have plenty of time to talk about your program.
Yeah, so September 28th is what we've put you on the calendar for.
Yeah, I just put my note in my calendar as Karen asked me, as soon as Karen told me, for September 28th afternoon, and then
Correct.
October 2nd and October 3rd afternoon as well.
Yeah, we
I
have,
mean,
we're just checking.
I
on
put the
those,
link
but we're
in
sure
for
the 28th.
the Carlentini if you want to check that out and join the group. And if you join the group, then it allows me to tag you in a post on
that's helpful.
say Carlentini. So Teresa, if you could do that, that'd be great.
So
Yeah, Elio Carlentini is the admin of that group, and his father speaks English because he has a lot of relatives in Omaha, and he's the cousin of Elsa Maria Di Sofio. Elsa was very often with us, so they are third cousin. Yeah, other people they know Elsa.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry, where is the link, and or what is the name of the Facebook group?
It's
Say,
called,
Can you
here,
open
let me
the
show it
chat?
to you again.
in the chat?
In the
And you
chat,
will
there's a link.
Oh, okay. I see it. Thank you.
So this is the group right here. It's called SEI, S-E-I-D Carlentini, SEI.
Okay.
And so when you look, there's 5,912 members. And
that means literally you are from Carlentini if, and then at the beginning there were a lot of posts. If you recognize this place, if you know, now this fountain, I noticed it a couple of days ago. Ma Silvana, hai notizie di questa fontana?
Sì, questo si chiama Abbeveraturo 3.
È vicino
non è una fontana, è sì, vicino, no, Borgonochiara, vicino Roccaddia. In effetti questo qua era un abbeveratorio per gli animali. Cioè quando si passava da lì gli animali si abbeveravano.
Chissà
Io
se
me la
non
ricordo da bambino, quando ero piccola funzionava. Quando noi andavamo al mare per ci fermavamo lì per prendere l'acqua, per lavarci le mani.
When Silvana was a child, that little fountain that was a basin for the animals, for the donkeys and the horses, used to work. So before going to the beach, they used to stop over there and take some water. What was oh, that's Lentini. Interesting.
Stavo dicendo che si chiama così, abbreviatura però, perché dice che quando è venuto in visita il re Vittorio Emanuele, è fermato lì per lavarsi le mani.
Ah, it's called the Basin of the King because when there is a legend saying that when the king Victor Emmanuel II came to Sicily, he stopped there to wash his hands. So from that moment on was called the Basin of the King. So you can find a lot of people interactions with the Carlentines. That's the mother church. This is the guy who passed away a month ago. Sì, Dario. Yeah, he was an institution in town because he was the owner of the only, one and only food truck that we have in Carlentini selling panini. Yeah. And he died with an accident, with a moto accident, yeah. Ma è ancora aperto, è ancora funzionante, o per adesso
Mi pare di sì, che c'è suo fratello e suo figlio. Pensa che il bambino è un alunno della mia scuola.
This is a beautiful picture. I wonder where they were standing when they took this picture.
Well, maybe with a drone, because the perspective is not like there is a rooftop. There is nothing.
Vabbè, può essere anche ripresa da una...
Mi sembra troppo alto per essere. Ciao Larry. No, I need to leave. Ok, ciao Larry.
Questo sono dei signori che per carnevale si mettono tutti e girano a Carlentini. Non so però come si chiama.
This couple, yeah. Yeah, you will find a lot of little curiosities. That's the interior of the beautiful Mother Church.
Okay, well, I think
so we had culture, we had the food, we had the genealogy tonight, so all of our goals, they have been achieved. And we spent almost 2 hours, as always.
Musica, per favore.
And what is that?
Musica.
Silvanna sang for us. Dai, un pezzettino.
Qui nous a fait apprivoiser, et s'il lui convient de refuser, mais de souffrir, ça parle bien l'autre c'était. Et si l'autre que je préfère, il n'a rien dit, mais il me plaît. L'amour, l'amour, l'amour. L'amour est enfant de bohème, il n'a jamais connu de joie. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime, si je te me prends garde de toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime, mais si je t'aime, prends garde de toi. Non è nella tonalità giusta perché non avevo la base. Era molto più bassa di come la faccio.
Va bene così. Grazie Silvana. As you can see, it's a crazy family. Sometimes we have Jeremy with the guitar, but he's a great.
Non c'è guitarra.
See, tonight we had the great Silvana.
Brava.
I understand when my cousin Mike was at your house, Silvanna, that there was lots of singing and some videos were made.
Yeah, but my sister asked me to delete them, otherwise she was going to kill me. Because she was singing as well. So I was like, okay, I will keep the one with Silvana. Mi fa, se li pubblichi ti ammazzo. Mi disse solo così mia sorella.
Hai fatto bene.
Was an informal moment, so she was like, don't say anybody.
Certo.
I think Mike's got some video on his phone. He's promised me, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get that.
Okay, so if it's gonna be just for us, and then we will go to YouTube and everybody will see them, it's gonna be fine. We have the illusion that it's just for us, but it's not. Mia.
Well, Teresa and Sebastian and Jean, very dear pleasure of meeting you all, and we're looking forward to getting you some relatives and
Oh,
and have a
grazie
great
mille.
week.
Where are you from? Nick, where are
Where-
you?
Well, my grandfather was born in Lentini, but that was sort of an accident of the fact that his father had immigrated to Omaha, and his father was from Carlentini, and they lived in Carlentini. But at the time that my grandfather was born, his mother took the family to Lentini to be with her parents. So we have Lentini, Carlentini, and but we didn't stay in Omaha very long. We went to Sioux City and South Sioux City, and then Sacramento. And I've been in Boise and Reno, and I'm in Texas now.
Well, look, Nick, thank you for everything, and Eleonora, Silvanna, everyone,
Our
thank you so
pleasure.
much. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you soon. Happy Easter,
Happy
everyone.
Easter.
Happy Easter,
Yeah,
everybody.
See you
Buona
Come
next
back
Pasqua
and
so
see us and
much.
check on us, but
Yeah.
I'll email you what I find, but it'll be good if you come back and talk to us.
Sure
Absolutely.
will.
If you want to change the dates in Sicily, I will be more than happy to give you my availability. Feel free to tell me what's your plan next. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds
Thank you
great.
very much.
Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.
Bye.
Buona
Ciao
Pasqua, buona
Silvana,
Pasqua.
ciao
Ciao a
Ben.
tutti.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
La prossima settimana.
Al prossimo martedì.
Ciao.
Alla prossima
Ciao.
volta andiamo meglio. Ciao.
Ci prepariamo.